Hey there, community. This is Boo, Community Evangelist with the F5 DevCentral team, and we are here at Black Hat USA 2022. I'm actually joined by Howard Holton, who is the Chief Technology Officer at Giggom, right?
That is correct. That is correct.
Fantastic.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, and you've been here all week.
Unfortunately, I have.
That's a long time to be in Vegas.
It is, and I'm going to be here through. I don't fly out till Sunday morning. I'm staying. So I did B-sides, Black Hat. I'm doing DEF CON.
Oh wow, that's the trifecta of a lot of hazards.
Yeah, it's trifecta of pain.
Wow, that's hopefully you haven't gone out too late every night.
No, I'm too old to do the DEF CON party circuit. Really, even if my number isn't high enough, I feel old enough to not have to do that.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so being here already for two of those three pieces, what are the key themes that you've seen this week? What have you picked up on?
The themes are buzzwords, and buzzwords.
Oh, yeah.
However, the kind of putting my CISO hat on, right? I came to Giggom 3 months ago. Right before that, I was CISO for a global industrial manufacturing company. Putting my CISO hat on, the thing that I would most be concentrating on right now, if I was here or not here and paying attention to this space, is API security.
Yeah.
There was a recent Intel hack. It's major. It's a big deal. It's blah blah blah. But it requires knowledge, effort, and experience, and expertise, and access to exploit, all of which is somewhat hard. API security is script kiddie Candyland, right? It's so easy, and what makes it even more dangerous is the average organization probably only knows about, a really good organization probably only knows about 40% of the APIs they have, right? Your average organization, I'd be shocked if it was 25, because it's not just the things to which your software is developed, but everything has an API of some sort.
Okay.
At this point, right? And I guarantee there's things that have a zombie API, right? I guarantee there's things within your network that are currently in production where the company, the vendor, was developing an API and abandoned the API at some point, but never actually removed it. So it's still sitting there, still listening, it's still available. And API security is not core to the development of an API. Right. One of the things that was talked about today was a case study with a bank for doing currency transactions, right? You can buy and sell currencies, where the exploit was simply they didn't round, right? Because normally they round to the nearest penny, so they didn't round, a la Superman 3, or a la Office Space, right? They set a $0 fee for the currency conversion, and then executed the currency conversion an infinite number of times.
Oh, and it ran.
Because none of those things were checked for in the API, right? They expected the client to round, they expected the client to charge the fee, and they expected the client to set the timing.
Interesting.
Well, if I just talk to the API directly, I can remove all of those things.
Interesting. So what do you think that's a cause of? Like, it kind of sounds like, and maybe that's just that scenario there, but it sounds like the business wasn't involved enough on the process of that application.
Well, we have to look at modern application framework, modern application design, right? And unfortunately, we've put developers in a position where they default to trust. If the job, especially in a microservices architecture, is to get the output that I need for the next piece of code to communicate in a way that it needs, right? And the way that I do that most effectively is I simply find something that does that. It might do 45,000 things and I need it to do 3, and if it does those 3, I just ignore the rest of them.
Right.
My default is to trust.
Right.
And since I'm not a security professional, I'm a software developer, and my goal is to get that code working, running, and responding the way that I want as quickly as possible, the totality of the consideration is, does it give me the output I need? Right? Without blowing up my code, not without blowing up my security.
Ignoring the other unintended uses of those APIs.
Sure, but I don't understand them anyways. I don't have a full context to them anyways, and so So I use an API that does 45,000 things, but it also does those 3 things. Maybe it does 9, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
But all of them are available, I just needed those 3, so I got those 3.
Yeah.
And
so,
then I move on.
I mean, did you see the answer to this solution, or how did somebody tackle this?
So there's no answer.
Yeah.
Like an answer inspires a solution that is conceivable and concise and complete. And there are a ton of, like, it's a big conversation piece. There's a ton of booths that said, we solve API security. The truth is, you can't. It's like saying we solve zero trust. It's that big, it's that crunchy. You can't.
Yeah.
You can make inroads in a fashion, right? The goal, the today goal, right? The what I could do kind of immediately is pay attention to your blast radius. Right? That's the number one thing you could do today. What is my blast radius, and how do I start looking at these things and say, if I know an API exists, how do I reduce that blast radius? Right? Then you can look at tools and go, okay, so what tools do I have that will inspect traffic and look for API calls and identify API calls and baseline those API calls, and then alert or prevent things that act outside that baseline? That would be a good start. Right? Long term, the problem is we actually have to do DevSecOps. Right? We have to embed security into everything that we're doing with our code. It's not going to work otherwise.
All right, so where do you think people should go at this point with their API security?
So it's, like I said, it's a big topic, right?
Yeah.
It's big, it's crunchy, there's a lot to do. What I would do is look to who you currently trust. Right? Who do you trust in this space? And I would really, one of the mistakes I think we make a lot is the second something new comes up, we kind of throw a hook back out in the ocean. And we go, hey, this is the thing I'm trying to do, and then you reel in the 12 people that do it, and you got a bunch of minnows, and you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna pick the biggest one of those, without ever thinking about, maybe I should talk to the people that I already trust, and say, hey, how are you guys handling this? Do you have a solution for this? How can you help me move the needle, knowing I've already invested with you, I already trust you, even, again, CISO hat, right? You're already in my procurement.
Right.
You're already welcome in my office.
Yeah.
Right? Do you have something that covers this? And what's interesting is more than likely, you have 1 or 2 partners, people that you really trust, that already have made inroads, and that's a 6 to 8 to 9 month leapfrog over buying a new product.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's absolutely where it starts. I'd look to who do I have, who do I know, who do I trust, and I'd really work on how do I make inroads to get ahead of this, because this is a huge problem.
It's interesting, a conversation that we were having earlier today, one of the points was security slowing things down, and when it comes to the implementation of it. And so, if you're fiddling around with onboarding a new partner, or it's a brand new product as well, and so you have to go through growing pains, whereas you already have a partner that you're experienced with, I guess that plays into that. Like you can get to the end result faster, and maybe it doesn't deliver every sexy thing that new player might have, but you can get to some sort of result way faster.
Well, think about it. If I'm 9 months ahead, that's a quarter of the term of the purchase. It's a 3-year purchase cycle.
Yeah.
Right? I'm already 1/4 of the way ahead through my expected life cycle of that 3-year purchase.
Yeah.
That's massive. There's nothing else I can do to leapfrog by 25%.
Yeah.
And it's often as easy as just going, hey, do you guys do this? Hey, do you guys do this? Okay, talk to me. It's an hour. Let's set up a POC.
Yeah.
I can be in POC in the same week that the question started if I reach out to my current partner network, right? The people that I trust.
Yeah.
It's huge.
You might even own some of it already in your environment.
Yeah, you might not just own some of it, you might own enough of it that it's literally, hey, we could turn on that feature for you for 30 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It might be embedded, pieces of it might be embedded in other products that you already own, where it's, hey, there have been a number of times where the communication between me and a vendor were so non-active, they were reactive, right? And I just didn't think about it, I didn't ask them. And then talking about it, they're like, hey, did you just buy this thing? Yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. Dude, we sold it to you.
Yeah.
Like you already have that functionality, it's part of this product. It's in there, it would have cost you nothing, but we didn't know you wanted it, so we didn't turn it on. We could just turn it on and you'd have it.
Yeah.
right? No cost, no additional licensing, and you just don't know because you didn't ask that question. It's why I always lead with that question.
Hopefully you got a refund for that one.
I don't think so. I think I just had two things that did the same thing for a little while.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, cool. Howard, how can people get in touch with you if they want to chat with you or follow some of the things that you put out there?
Sure. So Howard Holton on LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn.com/in/Howard Holton.
Awesome. Sounds good. All right. Thanks everybody for following along with the content. Hit like and subscribe if you like it. We're at Black Hat USA this week, so we have a ton of content that's coming out on the DevCentral channel, youtube.com/DevCentral. On behalf of Boo, Howard, and we got Aubrey behind the camera. We'll see you on the next one.